And say good morning to everybody. Just
bye
like.
bye.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Alright, so we begin another one of these. Today we are doing CSEC Add Maths. Once again, at the start of this, I just want to say, if you're watching this and you find, yo, I don't know nothing here, what kind of strange maths is this? This is Add Maths. So people who are doing normal CSEC maths, please don't get frightened. Don't message me on my phone, no WhatsApp, no Instagram or anything. This is actually Add Maths, a different, actually whole different, brand new topic, right? Not brand new, it has always been here. Good morning, Kerry, Shemaya, Prabha, Chris, Vrishni, Aidan, Javish. Where's he seen where I see Javish yesterday? Mikhail, Danielia. How you pronounce that name? Let me go to Isabella Sajda. Or you can take a screenshot now and share it. We start in 1 minute. Those of you watching after the live stream, we starting in 1 minute, so you can just tap ahead or so, a minute or two. 1 minute is sometimes be like 3 minutes. What we're doing this morning, so we're doing Add Maths. We'll do like the first 3 topics. I'll spend a lot of time on the theory as well and answering any questions to get you to understand everything. Oh gosh, my chat playing up. I need to pop out this chat now. To try and get you to understand everything, so I'll be answering every question, paying attention to everything, that kind of thing. You know, Add Maths is just to get to understand. Once you understand, you're ready for the battle. In terms of Add Maths and Maths, Add Maths is like 10%, Maths is like 100% in terms of content. In terms of difficulty is the other way around. Maths, CSEC Maths is like 10% and Add Maths is like 100% in terms of like difficulty for the average person. But in terms of content, Add Maths is just a little bit of content, you know, compared to like pure math and thing. Good morning everybody. Ting. So I'll take a screenshot. I need to post for this picture. Like today, you take a screenshot, you share on your socials, ting, you're about to start. Let's get this show on the road. Zion was really keeping me back there. I was waiting on his mother to come and I was telling him to leave and take a picture on my Instagram right now. Anyhow, there we go. Remainder and factor term. Hey, I really put this thing on the first slide like that, boy. Hey. Cut. You can't be giving trouble if we now start. So the first set of questions you'll see will be on these topics. We'll be doing remainder term, factorizing, polynomials, graphs, quadratics. Anything on this topic as we passing it. Anything about any asks, right? We have how much people? 167 Add Maths here, right? So you put the timestamps when you finish. Oh my gosh, I forget to put the timestamps for the maths. Yeah, they put timestamps. In fact, if somebody want, they can put the timestamps for me and I'll just pin your comment because alright, I had to put the timestamps. So somebody remind me on Instagram or something. I want to put any maths. Remainder and factor term, factorizing, polynomials, graphs, quadratics. So let me look at remainder and factor term now. This just looks at a whole polynomial. Like we say we have 3x cubed plus 2x squared plus x minus 1. And we can determine if something is a factor of that. Let me get a better polynomial. Let me just use this little program here and get a nice polynomial for you. For all your x plus 1 thing x to the power of 3. This program that I'm using is like, what we just call this Wolfram Alpha. Anybody ever use Wolfram Alpha? expand. And this is one of the more intelligent calculators on the internet. And there are many. Not many, but there are many. Alright, so let's say we had this earlier here, let's get rid of u, let's use this one, x to the power of 4, x to the power of 4 minus x cubed. Like just in case I, didn't wake up and think. X squared plus 2x plus 1. And we asked to find out if somebody is a factor of that. Let me say x minus 1. Is x minus 1 a factor of this class? How do we figure out if x minus 1 is a factor? Buffering. All again, buffering. Why is in the chat if it's running smooth? Yes, I'll be doing physics at some point in time. Difference between maths and maths, I've mentioned that already. Maths is a whole different topic. I'm just waiting to see the chat to see if you all getting buffering. Right, by substituting it. Right, so you're all seeing it. Cool. Did I close off my live? Y'all just give me 1 second to just fix this. Close off the whole live. Nice. Right, so substitute. You're always substituting this. Like if it was 2x plus 3, what you're going to substitute here? Everybody's saying the correct thing on the chat so far. This negative one, you'll reverse it. Additive inverse, right? So you're going to substitute f of 1. Like if this is called f of x. Every time you see it skipping like that, it's the iPad tripping up on me. F of x is equal to that. So you're substituting 1 in there and see if it comes down to 0. So you're actually going to put 1 everywhere you see x, 2 by 1, and see if you get 0. So which one of these is actually a factor? The x minus 1 is not a factor. When you substitute 1 in there, let's bring up the calculator. We'll be using a lot of calculator today. Yes, we can use calculator in what I'm looking for window capture. We can use calculator in the exam, big plus. So like if I'm substituting 1, I will put like, sir, I don't understand the train clean for me. So you didn't set add maths questions. Yeah, I set add maths questions. You create one second thing, blah. So you're going to put 1 to the power of 4 minus, Gabriela, we don't understand, minus x squared, x cubed. So 1 to the power of 3 minus 1. Why am I doing this? 1 to the power of anything will still be 1. I'm just doing this to show you, right? 2. When you see 1 thing, you're supposed to be happy, 1 is 1. Multiplying 1 is vibes. 2, it doesn't boil down to 0. And we're trying to make it boil down to 0. So fade away this x minus 1 is not a factor. So now we need to see if, normally when we check x minus 1, we'll check x plus 1 next. In the multiple choice, you're not going to have to use that trial and error approach. They're going to have answers for you to see which one is the factor. I'll show you just now how the questions come for CSEC. X plus 1. So all of these now I can change to negative and see what's happening. What's happening? I wonder if this will just wholly negative right there without a bracket line. Take a negative now. Take a negative. 2 by negative 1. Let me see. Yeah, it read it. So Yeah, you can use calculator in the maths exam. So what I tell you, it tells you that this one is a factor of that. Because when you substitute the negative 1 inside, it goes to 0. So let's see how a question like this will come for 6. X minus 2 is a factor of, they'll give you the factor and ask you which one of the polynomials is a factor, it is a factor of. Or they could give you, they could actually remainder theorem questions as well. Or they could do the other way around, they could give you the polynomial and ask you which of these, A, B, C, D, which one of them would be a factor of the polynomial. You can't use a calculator for maths, but you can use it for add maths. That's how the legend goes. So I am going to show you how to, nearly every question I'm going to show you how to help you calculate. How your calculator can help you power through. What's the answer? Oh, I forget to tell her, they press like, how much likes it have here? 115, and they pay their fees, press like 227 that much people. That's nice. That's very nice. Now, then eat breakfast and thing already. Chanel Reggie says B. So this has some kind of checking out and thing involved with it. So okay, she said B, so let's check out B one time. Now if it's x minus 2, I'm going to put in positive 2, right? I hope there's an answer here because I find I don't see much answers. So it's going to be like 2 to the power 4 here and 2 squared there. Alright. 2 to the power 4 is 16, 4 by 16, 32, 64 minus 12 minus 52. Yes, that's negative 64. Back, this goes to 0. So, this iPad, I don't want it to frustrate me today. Come on, man, behave yourself. So, f of 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, x, all the statement and things not necessary. All you need to do is shade the answer. Is a factor. You all missing out all the fun parts in life where there's people wanting. Any questions here? Any questions on this? Take any time or everybody who come on the stream after or live to understand everything. The first third of your maths paper you should be able to get all correct. These questions, these factor, remainder theorem, polynomial, alpha, beta, these questions will go up to like number 8. No questions. Let's go. Let's try and get this one now. But if you have any questions, ask a specific question. Big up Adam and Eden. Big up. Big up and bless up. Adam and Eden. Whoever they are. X cubed minus 6x squared plus 2x minus 2 divided by x plus 2 gives a quotient. So this is not really remainder and factor term. This is more long division with a polynomial. Is there a shorter way to do this? And actually dividing. For sure the answer, well, I'm predicting that the answer is not going to be this or this because I divided by x plus 2. I need to see an x squared in there somewhere. Right? Can't really think of a shorter way to do this question. Because they never say they never remainder. Like if there was no remainder, like if it would finish the flush factor 3 linear factors, that would be sweet, but they didn't say so. So we need to divide. Alright, well let's learn how to do this long division thing. This long division thing works like this. You set up that so. You put in your x cubed minus 6x squared. Could you please go through it one more time? No. You need to read my post on Instagram that I put 2 o'clock in the night whenever I put a post. The post says when we start the maths, don't ask me to go through anything again. Ask a specific question and what I do and I'll explain it. Because if you want me to go through it again, I'm going to say the same things. So if you want me to go through it again, all you have to do, we record in the video, you just watch back the video. Right? But if you have a specific question and a spot, I will spend whole day explaining that spot. Plus 2x minus 2. Now I wouldn't spend whole day, but you know what I mean. I have no problem with that. Divided by x plus 2. People saying D is the answer. X plus 2. Right, so for those who don't understand what happened here, we just be like x. If I just throw this iPad through the window and you know the light will know going, right? X into, I'm using my pen now, so hopefully this will go. X into x cubed. X can go into x cubed how many times? X squared times. Now, don't just memorize my answer. Don't just memorize answers if you study past papers and them kind of thing, because they never know. They can touch it up, so make sure you understand how to do everything inside out. X into x cubed is x squared, so you put in that x squared there. X squared by x is back to x cubed, and x squared by 2, catch the vibes we working today. X squared by 2 is plus 2x squared, and then you subtract. So the same long division thing that you learned from primary school. What was this long division thing from primary school? Divide, multiply, subtract. Yeah, that's what you're doing. Now we really just need to go up to this term, because once we reach up to this term, we could figure out the answer. So it's not like we need to learn the whole. It's not like we need an exam. You want to go for speed, 45 minutes. I'm sorry, 45 questions, hour and a half. You don't go for speed, right? So you don't want to waste time trying to go and figure out the whole thing. Subtract, we get what? Negative 8 x squared. Now where the problem is here, for some people, when you put this negative here, right, sometimes there's a negative there. Just this subtracting that causes the problem, so the sign. So you should be on high alert when you're doing the subtraction. This always cancels to 0 because x cubed minus x cubed, whatever. If this don't reach 0, you do some kind of stupidness. And negative 6x squared minus an additional 2x squared will give me negative 8x squared. And from this, I can already see that D is the answer, because the next step is to divide again. So I'll be like x into this, x into negative 8x squared is negative 8 x. So I know now that this guy has to be the answer. I don't need to go and do all the rest. Alright, why isn't the chat if you understand that? Anybody have any problems with this? Anybody have any problems with long division concept they need me to address? Any specific part in this you need me to address? There can be the case where, like, you're doing a long division and it's missing one of the powers. It's not in order now. So you're like, you have x to the power of 4 minus, when you say 2 by x squared plus x, but just do the way, plus x minus 3, and let's say they want you to divide this with x minus 2 or something like that. X minus 2. Now what I'm trying to show you here is that the x to the power of 3 is missing. So if that happens, and if you have to do a division like that, don't panic. What you can do, if you're not too comfortable with it, is just do this. Even if I'm doing this for like for statement purposes, I will do it like this. I will put x to the power of 4, and I just put plus 0 x to the power of 3, just so that I establish a column with that cube, minus 2x squared, blah 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 blah. So now when I come to divide x minus 2, I'll be like x into this is x cubed, so I have somewhere to put the x cubed. If I was like x into this x is x cubed, I'll kind of squeeze in the x cubed there. So just for statement purposes, put in this 0 x cubed there. You'll understand that? If you long divide and you have a remainder, well, you have a remainder where you want to mean. What paper is this? This is Cohen Springer paper. We're just learning the first 3 topics inside out. We're not memorizing off our paper or learning off our paper here. And we're doing all these types of questions that come on it, similar to how we do the maths crash course if you was there. Alright, so this chat have a little delay accustomed with now with the Google Meet chat that just instant. But I'm doing it publicly on YouTube, so I'd live with that delay. So that's cool. I guess I'll come back if I see any questions pop in the chat. Let's get the answer to this question. So all of these questions are based on what I know CXE normally tests on. So after this crash course, you should be kind of comfortable with 90% of what the style of questions that's going to come in your paper. Oh, I shouldn't call this a crash course, a marathon session. The linear divisor is not a factor. Well, yeah, that's true. This is another 6 hour stream. No, add maths, 6 hours add maths. No. We'll be waiting on answers for number 3 while I'm watching the chat here. I'm blocking. Just move this across a little bit. The paper 3s for admats, not much people is do them, so I don't really do them on the channel. It's not in high demand, like it's just 3 people is be asking me for paper 3. The same 3 people is be asking me for paper 3 right you. And I just got the time. Boy, alright, so this is expansion. Yeah, we'll go for like about 4 hours. What do you say? This test expansion here. But there's a little shortcut to do this. You want to expand. You want the coefficient of x. Coefficient just means the number before. The number before x to the power of 1. So you can line up all the factors now. I think my screen needs a little cleaning too. All our fingerprints. Could be cause and action. I'll wait up here and just see if that helps. We have our factors. I'm just going to write it back over here for a second. X plus 2, x minus 4, and 2x plus 1. So now we're going to multiply these factors. Now we can go and expand this whole thing, get everything. You won't get this amount of terms, you get more. You get x by 2x, whatever, cube, 2x cube, then you do this by that, then you do this by this by this, and this by this by that, and you're going to get a lot of terms. Nobody not time for that. Or you can expand, get a quadratic, and then multiply each one by this, and then each one by that. Nobody have time for that either. So what you want to do is just identify, expand only the things you want to expand. That kind of way to see. Expand only the things that will give you x. Understand? So I'm going to expand only the things that will give me x. So I'll be like x by -4 by 1. Because that will give me a term with just x. That will give me -4x. So that is 1. What other pattern you can see? I can see, stay with me, yes, stay with me. Don't leave me, don't leave me. A, well, people saying A. I can say 2 by x by 1. So that's plus 2x here now. What else can I see? I can say 2 by -4 by 2x. Don't change the color. That will be -8 by 2 -16x. And munch these 3 together and you're going to get -18x. But they didn't ask for the x, they just asked for h, the coefficient. Yes, naturally, Nisha, you can use that method as well. So let me see which one is faster. I think like this method is faster because you can do this mentally. You can be like x minus or negative 4, 2, so you have negative 2, negative 16, negative 2, negative 18. So you're reaching negative 18 already. Like if I'm talking like if you're a really good math student, or you can take the easiest linear factor here. Let's say this one, and you substitute negative 2 in this, and you're going to equate the whole thing to 0. You all understand where we're going with this? You're going to equate the whole thing to 0 and then find the value of h. So you're going to be like negative 2 cubed, negative 2 squared, negative 2h, you know, minus 8. There's a 3 here, there's a 2 there. So in your mind, let's see, negative 8, negative 16. This could run into mistakes. Negative 16, 3 by 4, 12, negative 4. Negative 4, negative 8, negative 12, I'm getting equals 0 divided by 2h. What we see was the answer for h? Alright, in my mind, I'm running into hurdles. Now, if I write it out, I may be able to see it a little clearer. We taking my time and making sure we cover all the bases here. So I'll sorry for the students who like understand everything really fast, but I just want to make sure everybody understand. So I'm going to negative 2 cubed minus 3, negative 2 squared plus h, negative 2 minus 8 equals 0, because it's a factor. Am I using negative 2? Oh, because x plus 2 is a linear factor. Are you with me here? Oh, it was negative 12. That's a mistake I made in my mind here. Negative 8. Yeah, so again, 2 times negative 18 and I divide by 2. Yeah. So negative 2h. Yeah. Equals 0. In the end, you're going to get 36 divided by negative 2. Negative 18. It's not bad. It's not that bad. Just write it out to make sure you run into no problems. With the signs now in your mind. Yes. If it was x minus 3 Stephen, it would be positive 3. If it was x minus 3, it would be positive 3. Remember, the linear factor indicates the number that we need to put in would be the additive inverse. Or, I didn't mention this, if it was like 2x plus 1, what you're going to substitute, if this is a factor, you're going to substitute f of negative a half. So in other words, if it's p, what is it, px plus q, px plus q, some books will have ax plus b. What you need to substitute is f of negative q, but you also need to divide by the p if the p, you know, is greater than 1. Or what you'll substitute here is f of negative b over a. Why is it chat if you all understand that? Yeah, you can use any method. Now, in the number one tip in your ADMAS exam is to use the easiest method first and then come back and check over all the questions using another method. Right? Who was the person who offered this method? Naturally, Nisha. So I would use whatever method I feel comfortable is the fastest method for me. I think like just expanding out this and finding the coefficient of x would be like the fastest method. So you use that method, put a little asterisk by this question, and you come back and you check it with another method. When you get the same answer in 2 different methods, you feel real nice. Add to the confidence now. You know that you get this right or wrong, depending on what is your answer. Next question. Curve x plus 1, x minus 2 to b squared cuts the x-axis at x is equal to what? Gone. Alright, so this should kind of be like y This is just, let's put in a little y here so like we establish a y and an x now. Where will this cut be? Let's get some answers for this. You understand the first method? Cool. So in your spare time, take some time and try and learn the second method too. Because I mean the second method can come. It's a question that just relies only on the second method can come. You need to know to substitute the additive inverse of the factors. Somebody said B. Somebody said B. The next person said B. Shamar and Sai Mikhail understand this method better. What are you feeling for this one, boy? And you're feeling B. I'm going to post a million things on my timeline, boy. Now we post this on the timeline and see what people on the Insta was throughout the day. You know why I'm doing this? Because every time I say, alright, don't forget to post that, and I just run out of time and it doesn't post anything. Oh, let me put CSEC admats here. Why is that waiting on some more answers now? It don't have a correct answer. Steven said it doesn't have a correct answer. It doesn't have a correct answer. I'm throwing some negatives here. Alright, Steven. Thanks, Steven. CSEC admats. Come through the answer here now. How can it cut at 3 points? Tariq is asking me kind of question I'm trying to figure out myself here. How could it cut at 3 points? Andrew Lucas saying -1, -2, and 2. Cause the roots. Tariq is saying cubic equation. Andrew Lucas is saying cubic equation. Sima is saying, Tariq, it's a curve. Alright, let me talk a little bit about these cubic polynomials. A cubic polynomial looks like this. This is the basic form, right? X cubed. Y is equal to x cubed. And alright. So the basic form, this is like y is equal to x. Alright, everybody know that line y is equal to x. You're not math, so you're expected to know that. This is like y is equal to x squared, where x is greater than 0. Or if I just include everything, this is a parabola. This is the foundational juices for quadratic. So if you like add 1, you will shift this up 1 like this. If you take away 1, you'll shift it down 1. And when you start to put other things in the middle like 10x plus 2, then the quadratic start to go all over the place. It's getting liberty to move away from that y-axis when you start playing these here. Okay, so the graph of, and the reason we talk about this is good to have this kind of knowledge. X cubed will just be a little steeper, because cube means the numbers will be going up faster now. Like if it's squared is 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 3 would give us 9 on the y, you understand? Because x cubed, x squared, sorry. But if it's cubed, it'll be like 1, 1, Alright, this should kind of be the same, and then it go fast, right? 1, 1, then 2 cube is actually 8, then 3 cube is actually 27. So it'll have a nice, it will be sharper, the curve will be sharper, right? So this is your y cube, but x cube, sorry, but it does not do this. The reason it will do this is because cube gives us back the negative. Remember, when you square something, when you square a negative number, negative 2 squared, you'll get like 4. But when you cube a negative number, you get back a negative answer. So the curve allows to do this. Now, what happens when you start adding little, so this is like the basic of a cubic polynomial. When you start adding another fancy thing onto the polynomial, it could start to do this. And then it can start to do this, and that is where how we end up with 3 answers sometimes. You end up with 3 answers because it cut the x-axis 3 times. It went up, down, up, right? And there is, I think you need to know this in pure maths, definitely in pure maths. I'm not too sure for ad maths. You actually need to know what direction the curve will be, you know? Yeah, definitely for pure maths. And the simple answer to that is always check the coefficient of the highest power. So if the coefficient of x cubed is positive, the curve will look like this. If it's negative, the curve will start this way and then do this. Right? Okay, so now that we have a little background knowledge there, however I want to take that, we expecting that this curve will do something so. But when we examine this, when we examine the x minus 2, we see that this is a repeated factor. It means that this is the same thing. Now when people see x minus 2 to be squared, some people gravitate towards this answer, which is not the same thing. This answer will mean that the factors was x plus 1, x minus 2, and x plus 2. That way you'll have the negative 2 and the positive 2. And that will mean the curve would have done something like it cut at negative 2, it cut at negative 1, and then it come and it cut back at 2. So like negative 2, negative 1, 2. This curve did not do that. This curve actually did something like this. We had a repeated factor here. This is 2 and this is negative 1, and that's the only time it cuts the x-axis. Now that cut is a real technical word. Now in math, when you say cut, it can mean this, right? It cut the x-axis too. But cut, when you think cut, you think it went from one side to the next side. So technically, I would just go to negative 1 is the only time it truly cut the if they call back again, I tell them in class. That's the only time it truly cut the x-axis. Why is in the chat if you understand this? Very important to understand. So the answer is actually C, right? Best answer here is C. Negative 1 and 2. So now you can go and put the answer on my Instagram and look brilliant. Tariq, you get through, boy. They was fighting you on, but you get through. Which graph best describes x by 2 minus x? So we talked about remainder, we talked about dividing, talked about quadratics, we talked about cubic polynomials. We done talk about a lot of things here. Now I have a lot of people signing up for the CSEC maths class that's starting on Monday, so, and right now I am the admin. Me. Look at me, I am the admin now, so yeah, because of the repeating factor. Y'all remember in quadratics, there are different types of roots, 2 distinct roots, no real roots, two equal roots. When you have two equal roots, that happens. And that is like when you get a case like x minus 2 by x minus 2. So it's no different in a polynomial. You have one factor here minding his own business, but these two decide to do a piece of bacchanal here and create a one factor situation out of the two of them. Kind of repeated roots vibes. So everybody saying A for this one, no disputing on this one. One of them is, which graph this describes, so like we can say y is equal to that, we can say f of x or whatever, but well, you know what we mean. So it is a quadratic. Would it be a minimum point or a maximum point? That's one. So that's why you need to ask yourself, maximum or minimum? Because we're seeing this is a maximum, this is a minimum. When the graph have a maximum point or a minimum point, and the next thing you need to ask yourself is the roots, because we're seeing the roots here being established. CSEC loves to ask questions like this, where instead of displaying the entire quadratic, they'll give it factorized already. They may also train this factor, because students get trouble with this factor, x, which means x is equal to 0. So to determine whether it's a minimum or maximum point, we need to check the sign of the coefficient of x squared. So x by negative x gives us negative x squared. It's negative. So if it's negative, it's a maximum, just as the chat is saying. So if it's a maximum, we're not looking at u and we're not looking at pi. Good. And roots, we already know that this is x is equal to 0. This one is a little weird, it's a little back different. 2 minus x is equal to 0 means negative x is equal to negative 2, x is equal to 2. Don't let these signs hit you, no kind of rigmarole there. So this is actually 2 and 0. So everybody who say A, vindicated. Answer is A. No problems with this, right? The values of x for which x plus 15 squared is equal to 64x. What? Alright, okay, so they bust it up like this. I'm feeling like there's an easy way to do this. One of the ways to do this is to substitute the answers. That must be the easiest way. The next way is to bring it across and expand and do the quadratic. Next way is to think about it as with square, so that's like 8 square root. Can I be 25? Yeah, you could kind of do some guesswork. You could kind of do some guesswork to and even in the guesswork, you're just trying to see which one faster now. Like I'm feeling at 25 good. I'm feeling at 25. Alright, so I would just what method you all will use? My best method would be for substitution. I will go for the substitution. I remember I have a calculator too, so it's not no kind of bus head thing here if you're not an arithmetic legend. 9. So I'll check out like 25 square. Wait, no, not 25. 9 and 15. 24 squared. Boom. 576. I'll remember that number and now I'll say 64 times, not 64 times 9, 576. So 9 is the answer. So it's one of this, is one of that. 10, I could already see 10 going and look here. I could already see 10 and going and look here. So the answer had to be A. But let's just verify that 25. So the best bet is substitution. You expand, Javish. Nah, I feel like that is a madman route. To expand and work out the quadratic, I mean, it's not long. but longer by far than just substituting with your calculator, right? Expand, expand, bring across, we got, nah, I know for that. I know about that life. Or you can double check by expanding, bringing it across and working on the quadratic on your calculator. And for that life, that's the life of 4. Let's just try the 25 before we go. 25 and 15 is 40, which is squared. 40 squared. I understand what I'm doing, right? I put in like 25 in the x here. 25 plus 15 is 40, right? Boom. And all I need to check is if 64 times 25 is the same as 1600. It is the same, so this works. Substitution is the fastest way. That's the fastest way. It take a minute. So let's see how long the other method will work in case you forget or in case you need to double check when you're coming back. As I said, always double check. Even if you're sure you substitute your calculator, you sure that correct. When you're done the exam, you should feel a little paranoid and go and double check all the answers. That's a good thing to do. So x squared plus 30x plus 225 equals 64x. So what I did, I expand this. The shortcut to expand is x squared, 15 squared, and then 2 by x by 15. So 2 by x by 15, 2. Oh shucks, I didn't see me calculate that blockade. Well, it didn't miss much. X squared, 15 squared, x squared, 2 by x by 15. I explained everything so that people with different levels of understanding the maths could think, right? This was 64x. And what we're going to do the life here, bring across that. X squared minus 34x plus 225 equal 0. Now you can use this to help you factorize. From this is seen that negative 9 and negative 25. Actually, it's not that long. Who say it take 1 minute? Yeah, it's really taking less than a minute actually to do. But I still feel the substitution faster. So when you bring across the 64, you get negative 34 because that'll be like 30x take away negative 64, negative 34. And I'm going and try and think of the factors here. I'm watching the answers. Anytime you're doing add maths, always keep your eye on the answer to keep guiding yourself. Keep in mind, when you're doing that, sometimes one of the answers is a trick. So watch the answers with a little bit of suspicion. Right? So yeah, negative 9 and 25 will work. Or it's about time I show you how to do this on your calculator, just in case anybody doesn't know. Mode, equation, you pick number 3 here and you put in the coefficients. 1, negative 34, I'm pressing equal as enter, and 225, and they told me x1 is 25 and 9, and they gave me minimum value and all kind of thing which I don't really want right now. Cool. Next question. I'll pull up the next question and read the comments. What was the answer for this one? The answer was A. Yeah, boy, normally add maths is just be me and about 60 people, but we having people today. Let me see if we can break that 300 barrier. What is it? 10:02. Nearly coming up on the hour here. The range of values for this. We are finishing 1 p.m. Trinidadian time. How will you know this channel so good? Alright. Don't worry, I'm not cold or current or anything. I'm coughing because I'm sleeping. It expanded to thing. The substitute is then expand and check back, right? They're talking in kind of language. Dog, I now realize that this is add maths. Yeah, I need to say that regularly. This is add maths. This is not normal maths. Here comes Sajda with the first answer, B. Oh no, sorry, Moaz Esat. This must be one of our Indian students here. Well, you know, we have a whole Indian contingent. Everybody's in B. Alright, the range of values for this. What method we gonna use? Boy, what's the fastest method here? You know, we're always looking for methods out here. Methods. I think the best method is actually just doing the quadratic. Yeah, quadratic draw graph thing. Maybe you could think of it as the two graphs. You still have to do the quadratic. It's a little too abstract to think of it as, because this really means this graph cutting through 5x plus 3. Some graphs so. And what you want? When it's less, so you want the situation here. Right? You want that situation when it's less than the line. When this curve is less than this line. That's what it really means. But you can rearrange it into just one quadratic inequality and call that George. And how we doing that will be like 2x squared minus 5x plus 3. Those who are addicted to calculator for quadratics, you come back with your calculator again, you clear that, you press 2. You're still on the mode from the last question. 2 equal negative 5 equal 3 equal, I'm going to show you how to do this just now. So, what the hell? Did I put in the correct things? Oh, not 3. Negative 3. This should come across and turn sign 2. My bad. So you just go back and switch this here to negative 3. 3 and negative a half. So you know that's what you're dealing with. This is B is actually the only answer, 3 and negative a half. So you don't even need to worry about the inequality signs and who is who and all kind of things like that. This is the only answer with negative a half and 3. But so actually the calculator would have been the fastest method here. Actually, just working it out would have been the fastest method. If you have to work it out, it'll be like 2 by negative 3 in your mind. You get negative 6, 2 numbers adding up, negative 6 and x. So you get 2 numbers like 1x, right? That will add back up to give me this, but multiply to give me negative 6. Make sure you can do this and you're not stuck on your calculator. 2x into x minus 3, we get the x minus 3 here, and we get plus 1. So from this you'll see that 2x plus 1, x minus 3. So x plus 3 is a factor, or, because you always do this, right? You say x minus 3 is equal to 0, x is equal to 3, 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. Bring across everything, x is equal to negative a half. So I could get a calculator this hour, this late in the game, you asking this by? Oh, inequality mode right here. You could just do this in inequality mode. I keep forgetting that mode in the calculator too. Let me see. Mode. We just take a little investigation here. Boom. So you can actually literally put this in your calculator. Up here we'll have less than 0. So you're just going to substitute this in your calculator and your calculator is going to give you the answer directly. That is vibes. So which one we aiming at? We aiming at less than 0. That's this one up here. See that? So type 2. And just type in the soldier here like normal. Nobody, like it's nobody's business. 2. Where it was negative 5 and negative 3. So this is the fastest method. Bam, it gave you the answer. It literally giving you the answer. Here I can make it smaller. Years now I do this and I now realize I can make this thing smaller, man. Why didn't I think of this? Yeah. Blessings Natoya. Can you show to get that mode again? Show. On you would normally be in computation mode. This is the mode everybody works with. But press mode here, computation complex. I hope that means computation, because I always say that. Statistics, bases, equations. This is the people we want. Matrices, table, vector. We want equations, so I'm going to press 5. This is the number 1 will help you solving simultaneous equations. You don't get too much of that in advanced multiple choice. You could get in paper 2. Is there simultaneous equation testing in multiple choice? No, not really. You'll get that in maths, but you have no calculator in maths. This one is simultaneous equation as well, but this is 3 variables. You could get that for pure maths. And this one is the quadratic, because you see ax squared plus bx plus c. We not seeing the calculator. Oh, yeah, I real talk just now and I don't see the calculator. Right? Start over. On. Mode. This is computation. That's because I have so much screens here. I didn't see the calculator here, but I wasn't seeing on the screen. Sorry about that. Complex numbers, statistics, base, and that's why I'm doing everything here with this big chat so I could see if I do something. Matrices, vectors, tables, equations. If I go down, inequalities, ratios, what is this? Distributions? Yeah, distribution. Ooh, scary stuff. Let's not do that. Alright, so equation. This is the mode we want. We're going to press 5. What I'm saying, this is your simultaneous equations here. This is simultaneous equations, 3 variables. Y'all understand, right? Let me just show you. We have time. We have 4 whole hours. Let's say we had this 2x plus 3y is equal to 4. And 4x minus 2y is equal to 6. Let's say we want to solve that. I'll press 1. All you need to do is put in the system like the matrices, how we do the matrices format. So you put in this matrix of thing exactly like how I'm doing it here. You press the number, you press equal, that's like enter. And this is going to solve it for you. It gives you the 2 values, x and y. And it can do for, go back in equation, it can do it for, if you have 3 variables, meaning like, let's not put any z here. So what I will do is 2, 3, we don't know if this will a system of, I don't think I want to do this in x, 2x. We don't know if this will do anything. We don't know if this will intersect. Calculator blocking everything. So yeah, you can put in a system of 3 equations like that. Alright? So that's that mode. Mode, you can play around with it. You can play around with it yourself. I don't think when I block just now, I block much. The next mode, 1, 2, 3. Number 3 is quadratic. That's what we want. Ax squared plus bx plus c. So I'm going to press number 3, and that's where I arrive at this situation here. So like if I have a quadratic now, if I have like 2x squared plus 4x plus 1 or something, you can put that in. 2, 4, 1. Alright, so you see like again some kind of silly business there. Also giving you very nicely the minimum value, which will show how this can help you in this very same exam shortly. Getting the minimum value and maximum value. And the x and y for that point. Best thing since sliced bread. We do this question. That's the question we just do. So each question I'm showing you another way. I hope all you taking it down, making notes, appreciating this, how to solve these types of questions. So where I can buy that calculator. Right now it has somebody said, one of my students from, I don't say what school he's from, but he's selling it. So and he tell me yes, I could give out this number. So I'm going to give out this number. What happened? He bring along a whole set book, and he actually sold it to my private maths class. 347. This is for those in 6776. Like on yourself. I think he's selling it for 200 or 210 or something like that. If you had to do the delivery or something like that. 3476776. Cool. So that calculator allowed in exam every year. People is asking that, and every year thousands of students all over the Caribbean is walking to the exam with this calculator, which is like another version of the calculator, the class whiz or the FX115EX plus, and do the exam like normal. I don't know how many bookstores in Chicago have it. I was there recently, but if they do, make sure you get the right one. A few people, just look up my video on it, Casio, Cohen Springer Casio, and you'll see the right one. Yeah, like if you order it online, sometimes it will come up a little more. If you try to buy it in bookstores, here they sell it for $275 or $240 and things. So you have it for a nice price. Answers for 8. Shantae Williams says C. Shauna Reggie says C. Regis, you don't stick when it comes to answers. You just out here for answers. You're not here for talk. They had a nerve this calculator. Yes, nerve it. 2 OP. So x minus 3. The set of values for 2x minus 1, x minus 3. What? How do you do this? How do you do this, people? Casio FX115ES plus. Yeah. Yes, you can carry 2 calculators into the exam. I always advise people to do that. Like especially if you're now starting off with the Casio, believe me, you can enter into a mode in the Casio and not know how to come out. And sometimes you don't have a reset key. It doesn't have any reset thing like a chuck in the back. You had actually press something to turn on reset. I have known students who get locked out of the calculator, like locked into a mode and don't know how to come out of the mode. For example, if I press on the calculator right now, I'm gonna bring it back up. You notice I can't do normal things now. I need to come out of this mode, and some people, if they didn't learn the calculator, you don't know to press mode and 1 to go back to normal. Right? So yeah. C's, we get some C's. Once it's not programmable, you're good. That's right. So once you can like store once you can like program it to do, you like you see Wolfram Alpha, that could and give you steps and thing. You can walk into the room with a calculator that can do that. The set of values. So how we do this is we multiply by the square of this. So if like we multiply this and we get 0, we get 2x minus 1. And you could stop there or something like that. Oh, what? It doesn't have a right hand sign. It's not supposed to be negative, it's supposed to be positive. Although some of these questions, I write this down when it was really into the night and I was sleepy. So blame it on midnight Cohen. 2x minus 1. Alright, so pick an answer now. So sometimes you stop here and say, alright, well that's the answer. But there's more to this. You're actually supposed to multiply by the square of the denominator in these kind of situations. A question like this, chances of this coming fair exam is like 99%. You must bring this kind of factor, binomial on top of binomial kind of thing. And you need to multiply by the square of the denominator. What does that mean? That means you're taking this and you're multiplying by x minus 3 squared. So So this will cancel. So it come like you get 2x minus 1 by x minus 1. X minus 3, sorry. Because this will cancel it, one of them here. And now you could get your x, like your x is equal to half and your x is equal to 3. Half and 3. And you want if one is greater than 0. So what I do is I know it's a minimum because the coefficient of x squared is positive, and you want it when it's more than 0, so that's a disjoint set, if you may, of values, a different set of values, a disjoint set of values. So what is the word we use? Do we use and or do we use or? Why are people saying C though? Or because they get 3. There still isn't a correct answer here. This should be 3. Because it can be greater than a half. So this was just a messy question all around. But we learn things. Right? So the answer can't be C because it can't be more than a half. It needs to be less than a half. You understand? This must be greater than 0. The only time it's greater than 0 is when this is a half, this is 3. When it's more than, when it's less than a half, the curve is more than 0. Yeah. And when it's more than 3, the curve is also more than 0. So this is the answer that we're looking for, an answer like this. And you'll never have and. And means both have to happen at the same time. These disjoint sets, when it's like this separated, the two can't happen at the same time. So it can't be and. It can't be, or sometimes they'll use this, it can't be the intersect symbol. It has to be the union symbol. Union means or. So either this or that. Yeah? Why is in chat if you understand that? See, now they're saying it making more sense there. So the set of values for 2x minus ting. Anybody have any questions on this? Anybody have any questions on this? So the question fixed there now. Or was the mistake in the question it had a negative and this should have been 3 too. Yeah. Because this one just don't make no sense. This one saying x is more than, this is the kind of thing they do in the exam with the signs, like, or with that and, or with the symbol, the intersect. And I want you all to understand that totally. So when you reach down here, and you hit them your little graph and you check in and thing, you could either be x is less than, like put A and B, x is less than A, or x is more than B. It don't be like x is more than A and more than B. You don't get that kind of setup. It's always be this going so and this going so, or you'll use the sandwich. You know what I'm talking about? Where you're saying x is more than A and less than B at the same time. There's an and situation happening there. Right? So you can either get this style of inequality or this style. It's always two styles. That style where it's separated or that style where down. You will get at least 2 questions. At least 2. I'll put my money on 2 questions that will be testing you with this quadratic vibe in the inequality. So make sure you know what to do there. Nice. Nice. I feel like talking enough on that. It really is a for number 9. We're going kind of slow, but I'm just being thorough. Do. Somebody still went on the wrong answer on my Instagram. My skull gone there. People say the skull gone. Let me hope this question is not mess too. Then for f of x is what? Ting. Then okay. So you're going to get tested on something like this for CSEC, where they give you the domain and they want you to determine a suitable range. In this case, I am inclined to put in the limits of the domain in that and just call that Georgian. Let me see if there are any tricks in that. No, that's the one and only way. So it's like, this is a cube, it's negative, so that this curve doing some kind of semi thing, so, right? Some kind of thing, so. Oh God, some kind of thing, so. And they're stopping in between these two. Yeah. And you understand what I say? Negative 2. It's good to have a comprehensive understanding of the mathematics. When my shirt white, the blue screen doesn't come out that good. So when I take a break, I'll go and change my dizzy just now. Only the white shirt can be a brand. The white shirt can be part of the brand, no? Nah, forget that. So it's good to have a comprehensive understanding of everything, meaning when you see any words here, you could translate this into a kind of graphical understanding so that you can double check your answer and feel out the answer even if your brain gone. Everybody from different countries is coming and say, what's this language? It's English. It's just Caribbean English, Trinidad. Go and look it up on the map. Trinidad and Tobago, tiny, right next to Venezuela. But yet, the whole of Venezuela is want to come in Trinidad. Anyhow, so they gave us the domain, they gave us what's happening on the x, and they're trying to figure out what's happening on the y or the f of x. They want us they want us to tell them what is the range of values for the f of x. So it's basically a substitution, you understand now? It's just a substitution. You're substituting this negative 2 into the equation, find the y value or f of x value. You understand? So now if I put negative 2 there, or the next thing they're testing is that if you have negative 2 cubed, they're always testing this. Negative 2 cubed, negative 2 to the power of 5, and them kind of thing, always testing that. So negative 2 cubed will be negative 8 because it's cubed. It will retain the negative. Negative 2 by negative 2 by negative 2. So this is like this is positive 4, and then you multiply it by next negative 2, you'll end up back into negative 8 land. Are you going to hear my voice telling you the same thing in the exam? They're always testing this. It will show up in some questions, some way or the other. So, I don't know it because last year people say the same thing. Negative 3, 8, so 8, the 8's cancelling. Negative 8, negative, so 3, positive 3. Oh, see, you see what they're doing in the answers here? They're doing a piece of back in the answer. So you're getting this 3, everybody says C. Everybody says C though. Why everybody says C? Christine, respect. Rakesh, respect. Moaz, Esat, respect. Javesh. Or everybody who say B, love and respect. And then they're taking this 2 now and substituting it there. So you get 8. And yes, alright, so you get 3 and you get negative 3, so you immediately gravitate towards this answer. But does this make sense? Always remember when you're substituting negatives into things, or multiplying or dividing by negatives, the inequality sign is one to play dancing sometimes. This doesn't make sense. How you could tell me that something is more than 3 and less than negative 3 at the same time? That's impossible. What we realizing here, I don't know why I had this one, is that this is negative 3 and this is 3, right, on the graph. How you could tell me that it's less than this and more than this at the same time? The range of values that we want is this. So it must be written like this. Even though you got 3 and negative 3, you must start off with the negative 3 and finish with the 3. Wow, watch men saying B now, says Josiah. It's B, man, people. Oof. Yeah, oof. That's a better you feel the pain now than you feel the pain in exam. They play around with the signs like this. So just be a little paranoid about them signs and things. Make sure you check in your game on top of your game there. Don't be too paranoid where you're second guessing yourself and your correct. Okay? But don't make that mistake. It needs to make sense. You can find something that's more than 3 and less than -3 at the same time. At the same time. If it was a disjoint set, it would be okay. But remember, you have a range of acceptable value to match the domain. So it has to be continuous. Okay, there's a little primary schoolers here. There's a little Form 1 maths here. I was thinking here, but I see my foot in C, so I just shut up. Life. following bad company. Do that one there. You know what? Let me throw this one out on the books, out on the gram and see what happens. My handwriting is so terrible, I feel ashamed to put this one on Instagram. I'm coming back to the next question there, but you know, content now, but content. Got to keep on walking on the road to Zion, yeah. Oh, I'm supposed to write CSEC, add maths here. CSEC, with the big. CSEC, add maths. I'll go and look bright in that question there on the Instagram. When I post these things on Instagram, don't go and write the answer and then get distracted. And then find your way back here next 10 years. What to write here, boy? Another one. Marathon in procession. What is it? Marathon in is happening, yes. Marathon is happening. Right, so this was the easies. Factorize. Oh, you can't factorize yet. You need to a little rearranging is required. 2b plus 2c minus ac. Yeah, rearrange that, right? Feel like that's the best thing to do there. b into a minus 2. Oh, it's back to front now. Don't worry, I think to fix that. I mean, you could do it just so, but just so that I see it. So you see a minus 2 there. Well, you're not really seeing it, but if I put negative c there, a minus 2 will pop out now. So it's b minus c, a minus 2. So it come a little ticklish, but you should be able to negotiate your way around that. Next question, 11. Which of the following is a linear factor? Oh, so we back to this factors thing now. Oh, yeah, remember I tell you, they could ask you like this. So they could give you the polynomial and now ask you to whip out the factor. Best thing to do is like, you know, test them in. Test a little -1 in, test a little -2 in. I find the vibes going good, like we don't need no breaks at all. You just go continuous straight up till, what time I say, 1 o'clock, straight up till 1 o'clock. Believe it or not, nearly an hour and a half past already. Let's get some answers in, people. So can you go over this? By this you mean 11, right? Remember there's a delay and sometimes I'm switching in and out, so I don't really know what you're talking about. I hope it's this you're talking about. I'm going to go over this. Stop that talk. Which I do following is a linear factor of this. Right, so all I need to do is get the additive inverse. You know, they didn't even give me any 2x plus 1 or anything where you had to like get negative 1 over 2. You just substitute it. Remember to switch the signs. Nice and sweet. Nice and sweet. So I will check negative 1 first, because you know, it's 1 now. I will do it in my mind. But I can be paranoid. As a CXC student, I will be paranoid in my mind here. So I'll do it in my mind and get the right answer. I'm going to have a calculator and say, come on boy, double check this for the player brother here. This is exam. We're losing our mark for stupidity here. Alright, so 2 negative 1 cubed minus negative 1 squared minus 5 by negative 1. Well again, see? Well, you know I'm going to check C next. So this is going to be negative 2, negative 1, plus 5 minus 30. This is not going to offset that 30. So I could just say goodbye to that. And when I get that indication, I will have skipped to C as well, because I feel like I need plenty to offset this 30. So I'll try this 3. 2 by 3 squared cubed, that's a little suspect, minus 3 squared. Oh, this is like 81 minus 3 squared, 9 minus 5 3s 5. Is this like 81? 2, oh no, sorry, 2. 3, 27, 54. Alright, that'll be more respectable than negative 15. What else did I got? Negative 30, 9, 5, 4, thing, bap. Yes, this work. Now, double check. So, x minus 3 works. The reason I say 81 first is because I said 3 again. But, that was a failure there. X minus 3. So great. Next question. I think everybody understand that because I never see so much answers yet since we crossed the 300. If you now reach here and you didn't press like one time. X minus 3 is less than 10x. So this is the next inequality, similarly. This is a quadratic inequality in a way, but there are some conditions. X must be more than 0. So it's like we basically give you the answer then. Maybe. X must be more than 0. So you're looking for 0 to something. But you still need something. So x by that, x squared minus 3x is less than 10. X squared minus 3x. Now really and 3 is be multiplying by, I think is that you have an x equals 0 in the dance, but they say x is more than 0. Okay, so cool. Minus 10 is less than 0. You get it 2. Oh, that's why they wanted to trick here. For this 2. Maybe they'll up a negative here. Because you get it 2 now. You get like x minus 5 and x plus 2. So you get a negative 2, but they already tell you from the beginning that more than 0. So you could just work between 0 and the top limit. Are you seeing me? I find nobody answering this question. Is what they want for less than 0. So less than 0 would be like this. You have your negative 2 and you have your 5. But we ignoring everything before this. So it's like we're stopping at 0 and we're going to 5. So 0 to 5. So this is the answer here. B. Making sense? I feel like that making sense. So a big box or something, you're not blocking off piece on the screen. Fix that just now. Alright, we start on a new topic here. We're going to change the jersey. I'm coming back now. Break. Take a 5 minutes break. I don't think we start a new topic. We just go on into this. still sticking. 5 minutes in Jamaica, like an hour. Taking so long to change that sheet. And I come back with the same sheet. So I just struck me. And I start to eat. A minute. We back in the game. We back in the game. I tell you, one of these days, Chris will sponsor me. And then a little cat talk to me. You see me, ambassador for Bermudez. When we do that live maths, and I just report a pack of tricks, I say, now I would love to thank our sponsors. This one that will Bermudez, the Vital Supplies. Let me go. My camera picking up from over there. Alpha plus beta, negative 4, treating up the quadratic. What was the answers though? Hit me some answers here. The signs missing. Plus, negative, negative, plus. Oh, let's do this. Negative, negative, and plus, plus. So which ones? You need some signs of functions that can be a leave value without signs. A? But what do you mean you need signs of function and you're putting A as the answer? A had sign already. 12x plus 16x, ting. Negative 4334. Okay, let me just do a little quick lesson on this. Let me get back in the groove. Alright, so quadratics, you know it's coming up to this, right? X minus alpha and x minus beta. The reason I'm using negative and not positive is because when I equate this to 0, I put x minus alpha is equal to 0 and x is equal to alpha, positive, which is the root. Alpha is one of the roots, beta is one of the roots. So I create this little system here. Yay for me. X minus alpha, x minus beta. Beautiful. And now we don't backtrack. It's like if you start off with the roots. X is equal to alpha, x is equal to beta. And if you're in pure maths and you're taking it into, you know you have your next roots. Gamma, alpha, beta, gamma. Anyhow, so you start off with the roots and you're working back. Now you multiply out, you'll end up with x squared minus alpha x minus beta x. I tried to write too fast. Minus alpha beta. This is how we catch this whole VAPS here, and they can ask you anything based off of this piece of knowledge. Now what they normally ask you in paper 2 which you're not getting is like you have an old equation, these are the roots. Find the equation, the new equation whose roots are this. So like it's been doing a kind of double work. Right? And it's be fun. Once you get to another question, that is just fun. But now in multiple choice they can't really ask you that in one question. That will go like 3-4 marks. So what they normally ask you simple things like what we see here. So just to neaten this up, this is negative and we'll add the alpha and the beta together. Put the x there, take away alpha, beta. So we seeing here, this should be positive by the way. You seeing here why this is positive? Negative by negative is a positive. We see in here that we have the sum of the roots and the product of the roots. Alpha plus beta means sum of the roots, and alpha beta mean multiply here. It means product of the roots. So we have the product. Notice the sign positive here and minus there. Alright, so let's go back to this. So they are telling us that the sum of the roots is this. The sum was here. Nice. And the product goes here. Now they want it in the integral, meaning no fractions there. No fractions there, so if you want no fractions, if they want no fractions, what we had to do, we had to get rid of that 3 and we had to get rid of that 4. Lowest common multiple of 3 and 4 is 12, so you have to multiply everything by 12. Will you catch that vibe? But first, we just deal with the sign. It's negative, the thing back. So you turn back to plus 4 by 3x plus 3/4. As I type in, man say it. Yeah, that's it. My admins is be working hard here, boy. People were saying answers and it had no signs. Maybe there was prophesying. So yeah, we're going to multiply by 12. So you're number 12x squared plus 48. Hopefully we know. Oh no. Sorry. We multiply by 12, so we get rid of that 3. So it's just 4 going to come out in the 12 now. This part not wait now. We don't need to know all of this. We just check in signs here. Positive and positive. D. Because they already do the multiplication for us. 16 and 9. So 12, 4 by 4 is 16. The 4 will cancel and leave back at 3. So you get 9 vibes. Why is in the chat if you understand this? So you'll get one like this. Or there's just one other way. I see this alpha beta always coming. I forget it. I would never put it here when can't remember if when I was doing this I write it down. I think there's one other way that this can come. A little more tricky. Hopefully I have it. Next question. Express as a single fraction. Expressed as a single fraction. Excuse me. Nuts is kind of tempting to eat when you're just hanging around here, but if I eat this, I'll start to choke. So I'll put it somewhere you can't help me. You go so. This question never answer. You thought someone's negative BNE? Well, yeah. Yeah. Some is negative BNE. Some is. Maybe if you have a next question, I'll explain a little part of the concept a little clearer. Mikhail, that is correct. Some is negative BNE. Remember, we got x minus the sum, x squared minus the sum, plus the product. What will happen if we put a coefficient of a here? It means when we're doing the whole factorizing thing, a need to come out, a need to be divided. So if we have like x squared plus bx plus c, ax squared plus bx plus c, the sum here would represent the b over the a. But since we have a negative here, we need to account for it there. And that's where you get the minus b and a from x plus c. Hopefully you feel it now a little bit. C. Answer not there, it doesn't have an answer. Why people say no have an answer? Did I make a mistake? G-san. Alright, so x plus 3, x could go into that thing, bap, x minus 3. Yeah, answer now there. Let me change all of these to 9. 9. 9. 9. 9. Find the answer now. X plus 3 thing, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we have some identical answers here. We have some identical answers here. So let me just leave this one as true. Still not sure. X thing. Still not sure. No, sorry. Forget them answers, yes? There goes so. This is x squared minus 9, x minus 3 plus 3. I feel like I did put this answer though. I feel like I did put this answer last night. What is wrong? This is looking good. This is looking a better answer situation here. Well, before I turn on to each question, I need to double check because like my 2 o'clock self was in the problems. A, right? A is the answer. Because now I know in CSEC what they'll do is give you a question normally, like maybe 70% chance, where if they're doing this linear 2 algebraic factors and they need to merge it into one thing, they like to do the difference of 2 squares trick. So that this can go exactly into that, and then they will put like a throw-off answer here. So I just made up this question, but I didn't think through the answers carefully. I just write the answers quickly. So x plus 3, x squared minus 9. What you want to do? Let's just do the working for it. You're gonna put x squared minus 9 here, because that's the LCM of these two, of the two denominators. X plus 3 can actually just go straight into x squared minus 9. It will give you x minus 3. Right? Because x minus 3 by x plus 9 is x squared minus 9. Different are 2 squares, and you just put back the 3. And I think that cancels. I think a question very similar to this in CSEC come. If not using these same numbers, similar to this, where it cancel off and you end up with x. That's why, unless I remember, like I was supposed to put that last night, the x is standalone over the different 2 squares thing. But don't just memorize that because you can do anything, right? But just know that this kind of concept, this kind of trick is come where they have like the LCM and they're using this difference of 2 squares, so don't go and put this answer. That's like the distractor. Next question, I'm going to people make sure this have an answer. Why does have 2 of the same? Alright, I'm going to pass squared here. AC minus B squared. I feel like there's an answer here. Everybody's saying A. Nice. This piece of ginjat, I don't really learn that. I mean, I know it as a teacher, but for add maths, I didn't really learn that. 4AC minus B squared over 4. I find that was just so cumbersome. I mean, if the float in your boat, let your boat float. B on 2A. Everybody know B on 2A. Everybody know that. So B and A just looking weird, right? this is one that I learned, C minus, but it's not 4a squared. Right? C minus b squared and 4a. Alright, so let's do the whole thing. Let's just do it from the scratch, and so everybody can see it. Ax squared plus bx plus c. If you're completing the square, you're going to take out the a. What the hell is that? Yeah, you're going to take out the a, x squared plus b and ax plus c. Then you're going to try and create a perfect square in the brackets here. A perfect square is one that does something like this. Think that's a perfect square. That's a perfect square. So it's the same thing square. It's just, when we say perfect square, we just mean a square. Right? Not like that. Like back now. We want the same thing being repeated. A perfect square for real. A square for real. So we need to create that here. The only way to create that, there's a half this and square it. You'll create the perfect square, but add on that. Half of, I'm in a class, I can't talk right now, I'm in a live class, so text. Put some hand one time is. A x squared plus b on 2a, well, let's not put that there. B on a x minus b squared on 4a squared. What happened there? Well, we get the b on 2a and we square that, right? You get half of the b on a squared, square that. Same change ringtone. I tell her I doesn't change these things. I need to go and find a good ringtone. But since I add it in, you need to take it back away. Now if I put this, that would be a little wrong. Because remember when I add it in here, I actually adding this multiplied by a. So one of these a is gonna go. And that's how we get rid of this squared right there. Nice. Everything here looking perfect. So the next line is just to form the square. Put b on 2a now, which is half of that, and square that. This is the same as that. That's beautiful. Plus, and you end up with this here. But some teachers will tell you to write 4ac minus b squared on 4a, just to get it expressed as one fraction. So this is the completing the square thing. Super med boss ring too. How about no? Rip to all earphone users. My ears. Wait, this just pick up there one time. Okay, I'm a bit over here. Nice. So are they get through with this? You can spend some time probably doing this for yourself. So you have a little double check there all the time. So this is the best route here. Next question. I'm gonna check and make sure that there is an answer over this. 3. Oh go. Oh. Time to pull out your calculator. Let me show you how your calculator is going to help you with this real fast. So we're not going to waste more time here and doing b on 2a and all that kind of thing. Mode equation number 3. Plug in them thing fast. -4, 1. That's the x1, that's the x2. That's what we want. We want the minimum value. Because you know when it's in the form here, your minimum x value, this is the negative. At minimum, x is equal to -h and y is equal to k. That's your xy coordinates of the minimum. And the calculator is giving us that. So we just know we're looking for a -2/3 and that's it, we get the answer in one time. No further questions, Your Honor. You understand what we're talking about? You do this to see your -3rds thing. The only thing you need to watch out for is that the negative sign on this x value. The h is always like negative to get the discounts every time, every year. Every single year, a question where they equate the two, or you need to figure out the minimum point and minimum coordinates, so something must come. Your calculator going to do that question for you in 5 seconds. Now if you don't have the calculator and you want to know how to do it with the equation, you're just using the same equation that we just bounced out of, this and that. You just need to put in the b on 2a, so let's try for the b on 2a. b on 2a. So negative 4 on 6, because 2 by, right, so you'll end up with negative 2 thirds when that boiled down. That was fast too, that was seconds too. But you want to double check, so you use a calculator, or you use both. Nice. So do a pure maths. Yeah, the pure maths coming for sure, for sure. When is pure maths exam? I'm hoping to do the pure maths next week. But remember, this is only like 1/3 of the ad maths I plan on doing today. The roots of x squared minus 8x plus 16 this usually comes to whether it's a real root, real and distinct, equal roots. Remember I talked about this, you can get the situation and the roots are like this, where the roots are like touching, or where the roots are cutting two distinct points. This is looking like equal roots because I just watched how that form up there. That x minus 4 to b squared. Equal roots. You can just equal roots. Oh shut, I'm supposed to wait for it to get the answer. People saying b. Moas esat. Normally you don't get things wrong. Why are you saying b though? Making me feel to double check my answer. Minus 4, yeah. Two equal roots. The roots are equal. A. Yes, you could use the discriminant as well for equal roots. B squared is equal to 4ac. Well, you check what b squared is and you check what 4ac is. B squared is 64 and 4ac is 4 by 1 by 16, which is 64. So since they're equal, the roots are equal as well. You can also check b squared is greater than 4ac, b squared is less than 4ac. If those is three conditions, right? If b squared is equal to 4ac, equal roots. If b squared is greater than 4ac, two real and distinct roots, real and distinct. And if it's less, imaginary roots, not real. Right. Or yes, some people don't learn it like that. Some people learn the discriminant like b squared minus 4ac and they just check the sign of the number. If the number is negative, forget about it, imaginary. If the number is 0, equal roots. If the number is positive, distinct roots. Noted. So do you have an explanation for this? I do. This came out of... Alright, I'm not going to solve the quadratic formula, but remember minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac? Remember, it all hinges on what that is. That is the discriminant there. It hinges on what that is in that square root sign because finding the square root of a negative number is tankalang. So if this turns out to be negative, you're going to imaginary land. Because the square root of a negative number, you'll have a multiple of I, which is like root of negative 1, right? Imaginary complex numbers you're going into there. So that is not real roots. If this is positive, praises be to God, well, then you'll be able to find two distinct roots. You get the square root plus or minus, like if it's 16, you'll get 4 and negative 4. If it's square root of 0, we like that too. That's just 0. You're not going to get no changes. You're just going to end up with two same roots. So that's the whole rationale behind that. 18 is A. Alright, 18 is a free max one. 18 have nothing really. Oh no, there's a little trick in this. So like if you bring across the 5x, you're going to get negative x, right? 4x take away 5x negative x and you bring across this, you're going to get 1. Negative 2 plus 1. Negative 2. Now, some people might just say x is less than 1. Okay. But that's a problem. Who said that? Chris just said that x is less than 1. Chris. I know a song with that Chris. Who sing that song with that Chris? What? Are you telling me who sing the song with the Chris? X. Well, if you divide by negative 1, you have to switch the sign. So A is the actual answer. So look out for the questions like this, which real simple, but then they go and put in that trick where you divide by negative 1 or you switch the negative 1. Another thing, another way people is fall traps with this question, into a trap with this question. What try to fall into a trap? They would say like -1. They realize that if I bring this across a negative, we don't want to do that. So they'll see like -1 plus 2, right? And then they'll bring this one across and 5x minus 4x. So they'll end up with 1 and x. And then they will just come back now and write x, and they leave the sign the same way. If you swap around the two of them, this fat piece always facing the x, so the fat piece needs to keep facing the x. This is saying that x is more than 1. If you write this like this, you're saying x is less than 1, so you disrupt the truth of the statement there. So when you swap the two sides, the whole of the two sides, you should swap the sign as well. Sometimes they bring the question without having to swap the signs, and everybody who memorizes says you swap the signs and you just memorize and you don't understand what you're doing. You swap the signs and you lost the mark. So sometimes it will be like you don't need to swap the sign, meaning you didn't divide by a negative number, you didn't swap around. So you just leave the sign. But if you end up dividing by a negative number, don't forget. Next. F of x is equal to 2x squared plus 4x minus 7. Has a range of f. Oh, there's the same range thing. I'll give you some answers here. What? J is a quadratic, but we only get in one thing? Yes, that's possible. Because remember, we need a range. What does the range identify in a quadratic? So we have this quadratic like this. I'm not even going to put here. You have a quadratic like this. This don't necessarily have to be the equation, right? The domain could be forever and ever negative infinity, positive infinity, unless otherwise stated. But the range will be from the minimum point go up. So that's what you're looking for here. Since it's positive, you're looking to get the minimum point and go up. Once again, you can go out your calculator and plug it in to get the y value you're looking for, alright? So 2, 4, -7. I'll tell you how I used to do this back in the days. Okay, look at them roots. -9. So we're looking at -9, but it must be not less than, more than -9. So the answer is E. Finally, I didn't see much answer to this one. How I used to do this back in the days, I didn't used to have this fancy calculator. I would find the x, I know x is beyond 2a, the x coordinate is negative beyond 2a, and plug it in, back into the equation. That is work. The next thing you can do is find the y coordinate of 4ac, remember that, minus b squared and 4a, or however you want to learn it, c minus b squared and 4a. Whichever way you learn it. So you find that and you realize that you get -9 there. Why is it more than 9? Because this is actually telling me that this doing a magic trick like this. Where I don't know what the x value is. What does say the x value was? -1, right? That's right, correct. -1. And this is -9. So f of x stands for the y, f of x, right? F of x is always going to be more than -9. That's what all this question is asking. You can watch this question and get kind of confused in what we're really asking in this question. If it's real, is it distinct? No. Distinct and real mean two different things. When they say distinct, they mean different. I think. Go with I think into the exam. So when you mean distinct, you mean like you and your brother, one is 15, one is 12, are distinct. If you mean equal, you mean alias twins, so distinct just means you have the two real roots and they're distinct. They are like one is -2, one is 3, separate. This man now come back from the break, yes. Mikhail, you understand this is more than -9? I hope you understand what I mean with the distinct now. So that's what distinct means. So let's just check all the cases again. No real roots, 2 equal roots, real and distinct, meaning this you can actually identify them distinctively. 2 separate roots. Alright, why is in the chat if you understand that? I find how much people we have. I finally get a little quieter minute. 283. No dimension, that's not correct. 20. What is alpha? Alright, so this is the next kind of thing we could ask you. This is really easy. You could be a little more creative with this and ask you something a little more complicated that will, maybe not, because it's 1 mark for multiple choice. You see, you saved in the alphabet the question because they can't distinguish 2 clearly different values, yes. Because they can't really go too deep and hit you a double punch. And the trick, what students is get knocked out with the alphabet question, the roots question, roots of a quadratic, is when you have to do one thing, keep that in your mind and then come and do an next step. That's where it knock you out. But the multiple choice marking system don't really allow for that. So alpha plus beta, the sum of the roots, that's this guy, that's the 3, because you know you switch the sign, but it doesn't even matter because you're going to square it, and the answer is C. 3 marks thing. Hey, Gloria was doing. Number 1. Gloria, are you doing advance? I mean, yeah, I did. Oh, got into a new topic here, functions. Well, we did do some functions before, but I think I separated this into like functions where you're just doing composite functions, inverse functions, substituting into functions. Because some of what we did, we talk about f of x and things, so that's functions too, but I just filter annoying, but let me see if I can make it a little better. Ooh, disappear, come back. Too much. Good. My bed disappears still. Feel like that good day. What, I make a mistake in the alpha beta? Yeah, the actual alpha beta squared, and I did square it, right? Yeah, I squared it. 9. C, everybody saying C for this one. Lord Father. So this is a composite function. Which one going in which one? The g of x, thank goodness. If this was going into this, it would be a little more hectic. And it could do, I see them do that already, like put like one big open function and they go into the next smaller function. So anyhow, the g of x, since this one is closer, it will go into the f. So all we have to do is put that there. Everybody getting the same answer, fine. So you have 2x plus 1 plus 1. In other words, anywhere you see x, put 2x plus 1. 2x plus 1, take away 1. 2x plus 2. 2x. 2's. Everybody can take a 2 off of them and we can just land on a nice C. Notice how they didn't give you like the exact thing that you will get, right? You still have to do a little factorizing, get rid of the 2's. You know why my ears feeling like my ears feel like I talk too much. Number 2, let's get the answer for number 2. And if I write anything in the neat handwriting here, me. You know, to post our next one on the grams. That noise in the background is rain falling. Now when the rain starts falling, sometimes the line is clogged up. First, let me make sure that this question. You see, somebody just says screw stick a little. So they gave you f inverse. So now you need to find f of x, so like it is f of x as squared. With this f inverse f of x thing, what was first becomes last, what was last becomes first. So like the first thing you do is square, then you subtract 2. So you need to do it in reverse. So I need to add 2 and then square root. So b. There's a straight b. That rain some people to sleep for true because guys dropped 14 people just disappear when the rain started falling. Nobody get any problems in this question, right? So I just not going to put that. F of x is equal to that, then find f of this. Look at next. This one went backwards, this one going forward, but it's the same thing I did with. Let's get some answers for this. Oh, let me just make sure that question is correct. Oh gosh, I have no space to write this. See the early birds starting to shout answers. That's how I have me. Another one. In section, that's what I was looking. Most people say in A. Alright, so the last thing I do was multiply by 4. So the first thing I want to do is divide by 4. That good. Just looking like I'm multiply by 3 and then divide by 4. But this, it's not that bad. And then add 2. So I'm going to subtract 2 next. So I'm going to divide by 4. Then this is the only one. This is the only one, A. So I don't even bother to go and do remember how you do this by y is equal to 3. Then they interchange variables, make y the subject and the formula, thing. I don't even bother to go and do it anymore. What I will do is say, what was the last thing that we do? Now obviously go back and double check with your first principle method, especially if you never do this, the short that I'm showing you. The last thing you do is multiply by 4, so when you're doing it in reverse, the first thing that you are going to do is divide by 4. Then the next thing you have to do was, the second to last thing was add 2. So the next thing that you're going to do here is divide by 4, then subtract 2. It's a little harder to see though, like if you had to find the inverse of this, because you have 2 x's what was the last and what was the first. So if it's like this, it's best advice use the interchanging variable method. Next question. They always asking these questions. I just try to incorporate it into the one thing here to explain this. If you get these questions, you're always going to use the vertical line test. I mean, they ask this question in CSEC Maths and they ask it in CSEC Pure Maths. I feel they'll ask this question forever. Maybe when you die, you'll ask this question. These questions to get into Maths heaven. They're just asking this question forever. Maybe they might start to ask SEA students this question too. So which graph is not a function? This is a function, it passed these tests. This is a function, it passed the test. This is also a function, this is a quadratic function, maximum point. These kind of ridiculous graphs are not functions. So this is the one that is given that is not a function. What's the next one is give? This give this that's not a function because you're getting 2 points when it cut in 2 points. You're getting 2 outputs for the same input. That is failure. That can happen. 2 girlfriends for the same boyfriend. Not possible. Impossible. Cannot happen. Next, what's the next one is do? Oh, is do the lines thing or the dots. That is not a function. Like they do the disjointed thing or this. All kind of ridiculous things like this and things they do. That's not a function. So then they'll ask you which one is a function, and then you just look for the one that behaves in itself properly. Next one. Teacher like he nearly didn't make it into Maths 7 day. He would. Given f of x is equal to x plus 2, blah 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 blah. Oh, composite function with a square thing. Yeah. This is a question like this is do, where you have to substitute this back into itself. Not nice. The boy ran like a wounded dog. Rock your scene record. So this is your last man standing question. X plus 1, x minus 2, so you're putting it back in itself. Because remember this is one way of writing this, or you can write f of x. So you're going to take f of x and put it back in the f of x. Now, let's do that. X plus 1, x minus 2. So you have x plus 1, x minus 2. So like if I'm thinking about this and I'm putting it back in itself, I'm going to put plus 1 there. So this is like x plus 1 and x minus 2. But instead of x, I'm going to put back this x plus 1, x minus 2. So it's like a kind of naughty little game is we playing here. Now, what we're going to do out here, so it'll be like x minus 2, x minus 2, x plus 1. I'm just, same thing. Let me do this one separately down here. X minus 2 common denominator, cancel off things. X 2 minus 2, x minus plus 4. Kind of nauseating question is this way. X plus 1 minus 2 minus 4. Yeah, pay attention to that negative sign. It was doing some weird things. X minus x, ting. So I'm getting 2x. I don't know about that. Again, this x minus 2 divided by, because remember this was the denominator, divided by negative x. I want to be very careful with this. X minus 2, x plus 1, x minus 2 are doing this too scrappy. X minus 2, x plus 1, negative 2x minus 4 plus 4, negative x, again plus 5 here. Is that one of the answers? Did I make a mistake in the answers? I think I make a mistake in the answers. If so this one divide, it'll flip. It will flip. Could we just square it? No, you can't just square it. They will have an answer for you to square it or something like that, which is the wrong answer. I put this answer here for the wrong answer, but I think I make a mistake in the answers. Like I remember vaguely doing this question last night, and I remember now that I make a mistake. Let me just do it over neatly and make sure everybody follow along. Because when the teachers stick like a stick there, students immediately get confused. So x plus 1, x minus 2. What I'm saying is that, like, you can think of this as f of x is x plus 1, x minus 2. Ignore the answers for now, right? Whatever we get, f of x is x plus 1, x minus 2. Right? So the reason I write it back twice is because when you do composite functions, people are accustomed to seeing f of x and then g of x, and then you take one and you put it in the next one. But if it's like f2x, this is like shorthand method for fx. So you're actually taking the same function and putting it back in itself. So you're actually taking back this big thing and putting it back in itself. This might be the longest question to do, or the shortest, depending on all one of the shortest, depending on how good you are in algebra. So you're taking that x plus 1 and putting it back there. In other words, identify where the x's are. There's an x here, there's an x here. You have to put this in those spots. That's what I'm doing. And then you have to simplify it simplify it, right? So f of x will be equal to, so I'm going to put x plus 1 over x minus 2 plus 1 over x plus 1 over x minus 2 minus 2. You all understand that? Why is in the chat if you all with me up today? Now, I'm going to deal with the numerator separately and the denominator separately, just to avoid confusion. Actually, I could probably deal with it all together if I do like a long line, so yeah, maybe I should. This might be less confusing actually. Then I'm going to make this a common denominator. I'm just changing this into one fraction. Nice. X minus 2. This x plus 1 will remain up there. But this plus 1, 1 will be the same as, like, if you're merging the fractions, just think of it like x minus 2 over x minus 2. In other words, I just want to make sure I clean this properly, because we, as a math teacher, you're accustomed to the shortcut thing here. X minus 2. So this is like plus x minus 2 over x minus 2. So now you have the common, and you can just add up that numerator. You understand what I'm saying? This is the same as 1. So instead of doing all of that, all we do now is just put that long line there, put the x minus 2 here, and put plus x minus 2 on top. I'll put it in brackets just for kicks. The brackets will come in handy when we do the underneath. Nice. I've seen good bit of y, so we good. This will simplify, but let's do the numerator first. The denominator, sorry. So you have the same x minus 2, which is a good sign. Remember, this is the big division here, right? They're not looking good. And this one have take away 2 by x minus 2. You put in back the same x plus 1 here. But notice this had a 2 here, so you're putting the x minus 2 and you need to multiply by that negative 2. This negative sign is what causes the little problems. Simplifying now. So the numerator is actually 2x minus 1 over x minus 2. And I'm going to use a division sign here. Instead of writing this, I'm going to use the division sign, because I want to switch it to multiply and invert in the ending. Divided by x minus 2, and I get to negative x, and negative 2 by negative 2 is positive 4. So 1 plus 4 Understand? So x minus 2x. You separate this out, you'll get negative x. I was correct, plus 5. Alright, so that's good. So you're going to end up with 2x minus 1 over x minus 2 multiplied by x minus 2 over negative x plus 5. They will normally change around these kind of things in the exam. So they'll put 5, take away x. Cancel, cancel. 2x minus 1 over x. 2x minus 1 over 5 minus x, or they might just leave it like that, negative x plus 5. Alright, 2 y's in the chat. So but why if you understand the whole thing there. Practice this question, maybe make up something for yourself and see how fast you're doing it. Because like this question, I've not really seen a shortcut. I'll have a shortcut for me with this question, man. I've not really seen a shortcut. You could probably trace a number, like do it twice, but that would take so long, there's no shortcut. Calculator can't do that because it's like a programmable thing. Alright. So one of the answers is supposed to have negative x plus 5 in it. 2x minus 1, negative x plus 5. So, C is the answer. C is the answer. Cool. Next question. The boy done rule. Oh, we're going to the next topic. So you can write on the paper in the exam. You can't write on the paper you have to shade, but you could write on, like you can ask every people to write on. I think they give you a paper to write on too. You can write on the question paper. You can do what you want with the question paper. I don't think you can go with. You can't go with the question paper. They don't let walk. They don't let you leave that table with the multiple choice paper. But you could write on the question paper. They will take up the question papers too, but I'm not going as part of max. So I know some people still get problems with logs. Some people still get problems understanding indices. Most people say they understand indices, but the truth is if you don't understand logs or surds, it means you have some problems with indices too. Just to do a little quick recap. Katie, where are you? Which part of Trinidad are you in? Are you in Central? Like you in South, or are you in another country? A little quick recap with all this logs and indices. This indices thing, XA multiplied by XB. That's how we say it. How we normally say it. AM multiplied by AB. I think that's how the textbook is. A. I forget how the textbook is write it. AM plus N. I think some textbooks like this. And then A to the power of M divided by A to the power of N is A to the power of M minus N. South side, right? It's not reaching by UD. So A to the power of M, A to the power of Mn. All of these. I've seen all of these pop. I've seen every single rule in indices tested. Every single rule that could come in the indices being tested already. So make sure I know all and that you're comfortable with it. Any number to the power of 0 is 1. Any number to the power of 1 is itself. A to the power of M over N, and fractional powers, the nth root, and square that. Or you could do it, find the nth root first and then square it. Or you could square it and then find the nth root. You'll still get the same answer. It's here, M and LM and M before N, right? So M before N. Cool. Any other rules I'm missing out? Yeah, man, we're missing out rules here, man. We have some more rules for them. The thing don't want to be selected. Come on, man. So some more rules would be like A to the power of negative M is equal to 1 over AM. Yeah. I think that is it for important rules here. Well done. Well, I actually use the whole negative M here. So that's the rules for indices you have to learn. all kind of things can happen there, all kind of tricks, all kind of fancy things they could bring, like equating powers. They could do it like, okay, like if you have a to the power of x equals to a to the power of 6, x is 6, you have the same base. This concept is tested, equivalent, just like how we have equivalent matrices, equivalent whatever. Don't know why they have a whole topic name for this, but that technique will be tested. So you have to boil something down to one side and like equal the next side, and then you remove the bases and just equate the powers. That is the normal thing for indices for this multiple choice. What else, boy? We'll get to see them. I have some practice questions here. But I just wanted to touch on theory before we start. Logs. I explain logs so much time online. As a teacher, your job is just to repeat the same thing and make it feel like it's a new thing every time. It's a new thing every time. So for those of y'all who need some logs in your life, this is how logs work. To understand how logs work, you need to examine the indices behind it. Understanding how logs work really helps you to finish questions in logs very quickly, and not to run in. Logs questions come in so many different ways, and sometimes when you memorize off every pattern and thing and you don't understand what you're doing, you can be watching the question and you don't know how to get to the answer. That's the dumbest thing to position to be in admin. So you're watching the question and you don't know how to get to the answer, but if you know what path to choose, you can do it. It's just like you can't figure out what path to go. So that happens with logs a lot for students. 10 squared, 100, 10 cubed, 1000. Logs is crunching a number down based on a base, so that you're using the index as new parallel. That's so complicated what I just said. Logs is crunching on a big scale into a small scale. Is almost like logs. It's just like map reading. When you have the scale, every 1 centimeter here really means 100,000 kilometers or some kind of craziness. So every 1 centimeter here means a kilometer, or every one thing here stands for 100,000 things in real life. That is what logs is. Logs takes a big number and substitutes a small number based on a base. So for example, if I'm using log to the base 10, what I'm going to say is that I'm going to say that the log is always the answer, right? The log of the answer, 100, is actually equal to 2. You take that 100 and say from the 100, you really stand for 2. And log of 1000, well, what are equal to? 3. Log is taking a big number and replacing it with a small number. It's a logarithmic scale. That is why when you see the COVID-19 things, you watch the exponential, you watch the linear scale, and you're like, oh my god, everybody gonna dead. And then you watch the logarithmic scale and you're like, alright, it's not that bad after it's not that bad after all, right? The log scale does that. It takes like really high values or exponential situations and plugs it down to a more linear scale. In fact, that is what you would have to do for the paper 2, but you're not going to get that fun. You miss out on that fun because you're doing paper 1. Normally in CSEC, when they bring the logs question, they bring something in an exponential format and you need to change it to logarithmic format. That is why you get tested on right through at the start when you start admats and everybody's feeling the exam. Anyhow, so log of 100 is equal to 2 log. So log of this is, and now where this 10 gone? Well, that is why when we say log, we indicate what base we are in. And there are different bases we can operate in. There's like ln, that's natural logs, meaning log to the base e, where e is a number 2.7 something. Euler's number. Euler spell E-U-L-E-R. 10, so this is log to the base 10 of, like you say, 10,000 is equal to 4. So based on the base, we can figure out a nice little scale. Now the magical thing, the most glorious thing with logs is that the bigger the number it gets, the harder the crunch is felt. Just based on how logs work. Because between 100 to 1000 is what? 900 numbers? And you went from 2 to 3. Between 1000 to 10,000 is 9,000 numbers, and you went from 3 to 4. And the next one will come at 100,000. So the bigger you get, the harder it's crunching these numbers down. That is the actual reason why it's so nice as a scale to use in scaling graphs that get out of hand. Alright. One more thing maybe to talk about really graphs with scale so that you'll understand it. The problem we have, like if you have a scale and here is 1 million, how you going to identify like 1 and 2 and thing now? The scale too big. So we need a scale that crunches down the big numbers. So like if I'm putting 2 here, I mean 100, 3 here, I mean 1,000. You understand? It's 4, I mean 5, I mean 100,000, 6, I mean 1,000,000. So I can actually see each division gets wider as you go up. It means more as you go up. So it means I can still manipulate, I can still understand small areas of the graph as well as large areas of the graph. It's really nice to establish patterns and things. Enough talk about that, yes? Alright, so 10 squared is equal to 100. Now how this going to change into the logs? How this going to change into the logs? How this going to change into the logs? We write a magical word called, a magical phrase, taking logs, and then we just drop some logs on the side here. Log 10 squared log 1000, and log of 10 squared is equal to the log of 1000. You whip out your calculator. I'm just doing all kind of different things here in logs just to get a little comfortable with the whole concept. Let me go back in normal mode. And log, this is your calculator. When you just press log, so them say, alright, big man, want base 10. So on the calculator, they're thinking base 10 here. Log of 1000. Boom, 3. We already established that. But now you understand what happens, right? So this taking logs thing can only occur, well, it can occur anytime, but when it happens, you take it to the whole of the left hand side and the whole of the right hand side. You can also remove logs. So you can take logs and you can remove logs. So if something is in an exponential format, you want to take logs and play around with it and think for fun, cool, you can do that. If you ended up in a position where you have log here and log here, you can remove the logs and just say, okay, so like if you had log of 2x plus 1 is equal to log of 3. Since you have two logs watching each other there, you can say, okay, 2x plus 1 is equal to 3, and you go ahead and solve this now. You can do that. So there's many different ways that they can guide you and steer you along in a question, and that's why you need to understand what you can do and what you can't do, and what is the whole background idea behind logs and indices. What else? Converting between log and exponential format is like the #1 thing tested for CSEC. Will we be able to go by integration at some point in time, please? For sure. This is part 1, there'll be a part 2 and part 3, or maybe I might combine part 2 and part 3 in one. There'll just be one more part for the maths. I did real plenty the maths, remember, it was 6 hours. So there'll just be a part 2 for maths, and maths I didn't explain every topic. If I had to explain every topic in maths, I will never finish. That'll take like 50 hours. But I could focus more on the topics in AdMaths. AdMaths is 45 questions, it's a shorter syllabus. So converting from exponential form to logarithmic form, you need to know how to do this safely and comfortably. How to go from one language to the next language. We just do that in a way there, where we take logs and we reach down to it. But you should be able to just transfer naturally. You know what I mean? This is what I mean. Like if you have something like y is equal to a to the power of x, change that into logarithmic form. What do we mean? You're always going to take log of the answer. The base here will be the base in the logs, and the next thing will just fall into place. So you're going to be like log log base a, because this was the base for the exponent, so it will be the base for the log. If you go back and check the concept that I was teaching in the beginning and try and match it and think, everything will start to open up, and your third eye will open up or some kind of thing. You start to see the numbers and matrix. You will leave the matrix, you will take the red pill. And x. But we have to take log of the y. So this is how you go from the exponential form to the logarithmic form. So log to the base a of the y, x is the answer. The power is the answer. Let's just compare it so we can feel a little more comfortable. I and all will feel a little more comfortable if I just bring back up a situation that we comfortable, that we know. Like 1000 is equal to 10 to the power of 3, right? So the log of 1000 base 10 is equal to 3, and that's correct. We just do that with calculator. So going between these two formats, find a way in your heart and mind to memorize how to go from that to that. You would see all kind of thing, your teacher will teach you all kind of thing, you may know your own thing, whatever you have, just stick with it and make sure you understand it. Some people use a kind of what is it, a rigmarole thing, so I forget it. A kind of turn around thing, so they do a turn around thing, so a shell, some kind of shell thing. Well, the tips I give students is that the base is always the base. So the base in the exponent is always there. And you're always finding the log of the answer. Or if you're going backwards, the answer here is the power in the logs. The answer in the power is the answer for the logs is the power in the indices. Well, just try and memorize that, have that down cook. Alright, let me start to do some questions and I'll explain some more on the root. Number 1. We're finishing in an hour earlier. Why is in the chat if I catch a little more clarity there with logs? Let's see if we can get this question done. This is an indices question. You see the testing and a whole heap of different things here with indices. The testing here with all, they try to test you. It's like this. How many rules do you want to test? Yes. They just want to test you with a lot of different rules here to see if you understand. I hope I have the correct answer here. Yeah, so we'll finish off on logs today. That's like the first 15 questions in your paper. So we literally do 1/3 of the ADMAT syllabus. Then you'll do trigs, vectors, coordinate, geometry. By the way, people catch my how I operate now. I always do something earlier for those who pay in, and I take my time with those who pay in and thing. But I am a man for the people, so I always come and try and do things free to help you. I have the book selling, so people who want to have the book for themselves and thing. But I still come and do the video, the maths video, and I use questions from the book, so you can still get the same content. And I tell people that all the time. Like I have a channel, my YouTube channel has literally now hundreds of videos, and most of the content for maths is there. But I still have my private lessons that I teach, because in the private lesson I can take my time, go through, get to interact with me, ask questions, the online classes. I'm still going to teach an online class in ADMAT, so I'm going to leave this video up here. So something for the people and something for those who want a little extra or a little direct help or earlier help, that kind of thing. That's my business model right there. Arithmetic and geometric progression, yeah, we had to do that too. B, or they get the answer ready? Alright, so take your time with this, don't let this question damage you. A 3 times 27B. I will look to change that to 3 as well. So that, you know, after all you get comfortable with what to do. 3 cube. They always have in this 3 cube 27 thing somewhere in your paper you will see that. So just no B. Now if you have this situation, you could just say, okay, 3B. A power to a power means multiply. And you can double check. 3 squared cube. That means 3 by 3 cube. That means 3 by 3 cube is equal to 3 by 3. Multiply by itself 3 times. Cube, right? And that is the same as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. So how we get that 6? We multiply. So if you have 3 to the power of mn, it's the same as 3 by m. Alright, you understand what I'm saying? So what next? Square root of a. You multiplying so you can add powers. Now this is to the 1. You should know that. So you see that's the next thing we're testing there. Add the powers. Add the powers. And this is an a, not a 9. And if you square rooting, you're actually doing a fractional power. If you rooting, if you find the a root, the 8th root, not the 8th, the a root, you're actually doing 3, 1 over b by a. Anything looking like that? B. So what channel is the IT collab with Mr. Chuck going to be on tomorrow? Whew. You make me feel tired when you say that, boy. Now I'll go and sleep and make sure I'm ready for tomorrow. Yeah, that's going to be 2 hours on my channel, 2 hours on his channel. Right? Go. Number 2. Let's get some answers for this. So tomorrow we start at 9. I know the advertised time was 10, but it's 9 now because it's 9 now. Which means we'll do something for chem, we'll do something for physics. I don't know if I'll touch the whole syllabus in chem or physics, but we'll definitely mash up some samples. We'll mash up some samples. Bio, yeah. Geo, yeah. I wanted to know what date was the pure maths exam. Kayla Marie Smith says E. Anybody have any other answers for this one? Close to 500 likes. Yeah, let me see if we can bring up that 500 likes. Oh, I just turned 1. We have our again. When I figure finish before. How much questions I have? I have like 5 or 6 questions again, so you may finish a little bit before. We finish before I call in that George. But if you all have any questions, feel free to ask. This is a little confusing though. This is 2 to the power of z or z to the power of 2. I feel like this is 2 to the power of z. So never mind that, 2 to the power of z. What does this mean? You see how I tell you they can bring these questions in very confusing ways. And now you understand all the rules of logs, all the rules of indices, the concept of logs, concept of indices, but you didn't practice much questions, so you don't know where to go. My advice is always to play around with the equations now. So z is equal to 5 plus log 2, 3. So let's rearrange this. Z minus 5 is equal to log 2, 3. Oh, yeah, I wanted to say this very importantly. If you run into a situation like this, that question where you don't know what to do, big man, take back them answers and substitute and see what's happening. literally write in your calculator. I'm going to bring it up and show you. 2 to the power of z. Okay, 2 to the power of z. What is z? 5 plus log 2, 3. 5 plus log to the base 2. My calculator can do logs to the base. Log to the base 2 of 3. Most calculators can't do logs to the base unless it's like this calculator. Boom, 96 is the answer. Imagine if you went into the exam room with this calculator, couldn't do this question, but all you have to do is type it in like this with a substitution method. Pure is only 27 to 29, very nice. So we have some time to do pure as well. So substitution then crack the answer open first. But how would we do it if we had to show working and them kind of thing, which we don't. Now you want to get rid of the logs. When you have logs on one side but not on the next side, your method is to change it into the exponential format. And how did we learn to do that? How did we learn to do that, my friends? The base to the answer equal 3. We nearly there. 2 to the power of z. Oh, go on, this is taking long, real long way. 2 to the, are you good at this? Yes, you can use your calculator for multiple choice in advanced. Not in normal maths. 2 to the power of z minus, well, when you're subtracting and dividing, so this is 2 to the power of 5. Niceness, we're very close. 2 to the power of 5 is really 32. So 32 by 3 is 96. You can kind of stop here and get the answer one time. So this was a little challenging to attempt just so. But the method was to use this and use this and rearrange it so that you can get 2 to the power of z. So I use this, I bring across the 5. Why is it chat if you understand? I'm going from the exponent form, from a kind of logarithmic form here to an exponent form here. This was the trick. This was the big brain movement there. And nice. Next question. If log 2, I get the answer to this one. Excuse. Oh gosh, Ali. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like I sleep catching up with me. Ceiling that. What's that, people? Yes, you can use the calculator that we are using in AddMaths. Javed Shram Charita says C log base 2x cubed is equal to 12. This is an substitution vibes here. You could literally come out here and just substitute some answers and see what's going on. Well, log base 2, that's not a problem. Log base 2, which one now, let's say C, alright, let me check 16 cube. Not a problem. Cube that one time is equal to 12. Yes it is. Yes it is. C is the answer, right? Logs question. The logs, your logs question and your indices questions and your polynomials and thing. you can underestimate how powerful your calculator can help you with substituting into substituting the answers. So just crack open the question quick. Especially if you know it's not the best in logs. Especially. Did I just invisibilate myself? Alright, so how would we do this though if we are not calculatoring it out? Remember next year or something they say we nerfing calculators. One of the awesome power with logs, one of the awesome powers with logs is that you can take a power and just drop it down here. It come like you do the same thing. Because what logs does is crunch the power. It crunches it from an exponential to a linear, which is multiply. It goes from power to multiply. So if whether it's powering up the number or it's multiplying the logs, it's doing the same thing. You can verify this very quickly. 10 cube, remember we have the 10 cube down lock, right? We know 10 cube is 1000. So if I find the log of 10 cube, what am I doing? If I find the log, what am I proving? This power law. It's called the power law. If I find the log of 10 cube is 3, right? It's the same thing as if I find 3 times log of 10. The log of 10 is 1. So if I bring down this power, it's 3 times the log of 10. Same thing. Same thing. Alright, so now log to the base 2x is equal to 12. So when is the next POB life? I don't do them thing, boy. I don't do them thing. Them POB and POA thing. You don't see them thing on this channel. Log to the base 2. Nah, I just never learned business. I learned business, but I just never learned CSEC business. Yeah, lots of the logs question you can just substitute. And from here you can immediately just see that the answer is 16. You can do a little substitution here if you didn't want to do the substitution quite up here. The log to the base 2 of 16 is 4. Or x is equal to 2 to the power 4. When you change it from exponent form, from logarithmic form to exponent form, the base to the power is the answer. X comes there. So 2 to the power 4 is 16, boom, bang, skiddy bang. So the answers. Next question. I'm trying to select the question on your drawing. Well done, Zidane. Well done. So you do TD? Yes, I do technical drawing. But I haven't done it in a while and there's some changes and they're adding some stuff. So for me to do technical drawing now, I'll need to go back and double check stuff. I did technical drawing at a pretty high level. I did mechanical engineering, so there's a drawing course at the start of mechanical engineering that is skill of people, but because there's a sultan when it comes to technical drawing, ease, brother, ease. Technical drawing is cake. No disrespect to the people who don't find it's not cake. Who find it's bitter aloes. But it's vibes, it's vibes. Orthographic and isometric, oblique. AutoCAD is the new vibes. Now I've done a bit of AutoCAD. I was pretty proficient in AutoCAD and SolidWorks. But I haven't done that in like 10 years, to be honest. So the AutoCAD we used to use, it's not the same AutoCAD that I'm using now. I did some TD last year, we ran through some multiple choice that was really helpful for those who write the exam. So hopefully I can repeat that same feat this year. But there's only so much things they can ask in TD and truth. And TD they just be asking this, the same damn thing every year. The same thing. I just realized something that I see in the chat. C is the answer. What is this in here? Back to the indices life. So 3 to the negative 1 is 1 over 3. And that's a little like it hit you the 32 to the 5th power. That is 2. 2 times 1 6. And everybody can see. Nobody get any problems. Ting. Move forward in real life. Are we down to the last question? Alright, we down to the third to the last question. I will miss the mark something. We down to the third to the last question. 12:10, let me make it to 12:30, Lord. 12:30. How long we going for? Just about 3 hours. Alright, so 3 and a half hours, 3 hours 20 minutes. So those who are saying Trinidadian time and now we finish over time, I know the maths went a little over time, but at maths we holding it down. I guess that's because I split the numerator into 3. A third divided by 2, a third divided by 2 is 2/3. So it's not really a third divided by 2, it's actually 1 over 2 times 3. Fish. Oh, it actually is a third divided by 2. Okay. Let me check this out. A third. Nah, you confusing. You confusing me. Divided by 2, because this is 2. A third divided by 2. Yes, I was correct. That's correct. So this is the same as a third multiplied by 1 over 2. Yeah. But if you forget that question, let me go forward. So D, I'll get this one. TD is for intellectuals. Maybe. T is for everybody. Ting. Well, kind of easy thing is this by D, right? So when you have x over y, the rules for logs are adding less the rules for logs. Maybe I should. So like if you have log, I mean it in your book. Just go and open your book. I know somebody when I list at this channel is get real lazy. Forget books, showing me everything. Subtraction. Must be the same basis, like base A. That's just, I just expect that you know that, right? We can show this, we can prove this. Once again, I like to do these things because it helps, bring a little clarity. Like if I have 10,000 here over, let me say 100. That is the same as the log of 10,000 minus the log of 100. And everybody knows that the log of 10,000 is 4 and the log of 100 is 2. Squared, right? 4. So the answer is 2. And this is the same thing as the log of 100, which is 2. That is the whole reason why this rule works, because logs works with powers. So when you're dividing, it's like you're cancelling off some of the zeros, some of the decimal, you're moving that decimal point, so you're allowing for this magic trick to happen. And then log of AB somebody just get delete out. Log of AB, log of A plus B, same reasons. We tired. So if it's this, we subtract it. 12 take away 9 is 3. Don't go and do any other shit in the exam. No, don't write this. It's subtract. You're subtracting the actual answers. They said, okay, let me explain why we get 3. They said that the log of x is 12 and the log of y is 9. So log of x take away log of y, which is the same thing as this, will be 12 take away 9, which is 3. You're actually substituting the actual numbers there. So 3 times 27, we do one similar to this just now. This is the equivalent matrices question. The equivalent indices equivalent indices question, equivalent powers. Yeah boy, 3 times, Alia, do this. This is second to last question. Have some fun now, man. Have some fun, man. I take 3 pictures already, that's good enough.
Business needs free.
Crossbow. Oh, let's talk more game. Hey, don't talk about game until we done that. A. Alright, people getting A. 3. The reason I like to make up my questions too is because it really tests how much people really know it. Some people, they just memorize off past papers and things. So when I make up my questions and jump out on the live stream too, and I seen answers there, I know these questions was birthed from Cohen Springer. Well, at least the specifics in the question, you know. Nothing is new under the sun. So this is the same as 3 to the power cube thing, 2x, just come back around again. I'm gain more, so 3 by 3, 6x, 9. So this is 1, so we add, so 3, 6x plus 1? 9x? Hey, let's change the 9x up here one time. 3 squared. Could you have just substituted numbers in this too? Yes, you can. You can substitute earlier. Substitution just killing off in the and logs. Dead. Fast. Anyhow, so 6x plus 1 is equal to 2x. So 4x is equal to -1. Bring across the 4, you get -1/4. Well done. But yes, you gotta try out the answers into the question. So now that you get an answer now, you pull out your calculator like this and say 3 times 27 to the power of -1/4. Well, see if that equal, see what that is. Or if you don't want to see what it is and then compare, just take away the 9 one time and it should be equal to 0, you understand what I'm saying? Subtract. In other words, I can bring this around and it will equal to 0. Subtract 9 to the power of, what was the x? -1/4. Oh, I forget it too. Multiply them. I want to pay it exactly like how they have it so that I'll have a freely substitution. Zero. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so it works. Last question. This is like the most traditional logs question you can get. And once again, you can just substitute and kill off this question. 8 out of 9 of the logs, 6 out of 7 of the logs questions is just substitution. Yes, pain, you know, going on. I'm just checking to see if you're paying attention. 12:20 really making it 12:30. Alright, cool. Maybe the next one I'll do everything. Trigonometrical explanation. Integration, differentiation, explanation and thing. Well, we could come back with this as soon as possible, right? Monday I have a class, Tuesday I have a class, Wednesday or something. Really and truly is only Tuesday and Friday next week, but Tuesday, Wednesday I plan to do a, believe it or not, I am going to do a Spanish. I'm going to do a Spanish marathon on Wednesday. No habla español. But what I'm going to do is get somebody to help me as well. Quintessentially. You all may have heard that name. He has a YouTube channel coming up. He's a really good Spanish teacher. Some of you all probably from his school could testify. So we can do a little thing. Tomorrow we are IT, we are Spanish. We really provided for the nations on this channel out here. I see answers start to pop in the chat now, guys. 2, okay, let's check the 2 on the calculator. Log to the base 2 of 5 by 2 is 10. Or you understand I could just put 10 here, right? Instead of being 5 by 2. 10 minus 2 is 8, so alright, I'm just going to put 8 inside here. You understand that? 2, 10, 8. If you're a little paranoid, you put the whole thing. Minus log to the base 2 again. This is making perfect sense actually. I could see it already. I see it already. 3, this might be 1. So then again 2 here. 3 by x 6. What's substitute? 2, 6 minus 1, 1. Let's see the light here. What going on? 3 by x 6 minus 1. Just 18, yes. Okay. 1 equal to 3. Yeah. Okay. Log of 1, 2 base 2, 3. Oh, 0, 0. The log of 1 is 0. Yeah, that's something you're supposed to know. Excuse me. Log of 1 is 0. Log of 1 is 0. So this can be solved very quickly with substituting the answers. Very quickly. I find that's pretty fast. You get to the first one too because it works with A. But just in case, let me show you how to do it the working it out way. Especially for those who are watching this stream next year and they had to do a paper too. This is subtraction, so it's really division. So this is log to the base 2, 5x minus 2, 3x minus 5 equal 3. Now we're going to switch it into exponential form. So this is really 8, 2 to the power of 3, 8, right? And 5x minus 2, 3x minus 5, 5x minus 2, this is 8, so I can think of this as 24x when I bring up this now, minus 40. Yeah, and bring across that way. I'm getting negative 19x is equal to negative to the 8 divide, get 2. So that's the actual work into it. It was nice. How long we spent in reality? 3 hours and 10 minutes. Not the full 4 hours at all. But we go call that George and earlier. So tomorrow we come in through with IT. Wednesday we come in through with Spanish for those who do in Spanish. I don't have no French teacher friends. Oh yes I do, but she's in France. The following Friday, next week Friday, I could maybe come through the pure maths. So for pure maths people, yeah. The following week we'll do the physics and the chem. Maybe I could touch a little physics next week too, just to get the ball rolling, just to dust off, yeah. So nice. So don't forget the timestamps. Yes, Jared. Thank you, brother. But you can try to help me out with them timestamps too and put some in the comments too. Like what I want to do is, okay, he started logs at the time, logs, and you put the timestamp. This, that, any other notable thing so that when you're coming back to revise, you can just go in the comments and click on the timestamp and find it quickly. Hopefully I'll do that, yes. Alright people, big crossover tomorrow, IT, big collab, be there, especially the IT people. If you're not doing IT, I think you should have picked IT. IT is a subject that just pretty soon will become compulsory in all schools. IT is just, up there. Maths, English, IT. Top 3 subjects you should probably be doing. Everybody should do those subjects. Alright people, it was a vibe. Don't forget to press like on the way out if you didn't yet. Don't forget to screenshot and tag me on Instagram if you didn't yet. You can head on now to my Instagram at coinspringer.com. Yeah, me coinspringer.com. That is my website. Coinspringer. That is me on Instagram there. Follow so you know what's going on. My Instagram is more like a motivational kind of vibe, and not only CXC. Helping students win. That's my motto. And what else I can tell you? Why? You can follow the Student Hub at the Student Hub. All them past papers and things are asking for. Follow this on Instagram. Go in the bio for this. Click the link, boom, you'll enter a brand new world. Whole new world. Anybody here from the Student Hub? Why is it that different from the Student Hub? Just to let people know. Just to let people know. And let them know if you ever find anything in the Student Hub that you are looking for. Always advertise it for Cricks, yes. Yes. Soon officially. Very soon officially. I mean, I'm not in any talks in Bermuda or anything, but have faith. Alright, you welcome all the people who are here. Lots of names: Aline, Shola, April, Christine, Trillin, Chris, Dark Magician, Tariq, Megan, Iranda, Darius, Jared, Javish, Muaz, Mikhail, Carissa, Sabira. But you see how people in the Student Hub. So make a collab with Mouth. Next time I really make one issue now, but he's swear too much, he's cussed too much in his act. Maybe you could make something PG. Student Hub have everything, you see? Follow them people. Almost every past paper possible. Nice. Highly recommended. People always messaging me after lies asking for past paper. Me? I don't keep past papers on my laptop, on my computer, on my screen, on my nothing. On my phone, nothing. Nothing. No past papers exist in this building. So, if you want past papers, I don't, as I said, I don't keep paper 2s and paper 3s or anything. I just don't. Because I just want to always say I don't have no past paper. Check the Student Hub. Sri Lankan, Essence Randa. Call my name this Jack. I'll just stick with Jack. Bro. Alright people, we'll call that George for now. I'm supposed to have a nice little screen and fancy layout and thing I'm bridging from an online maths class. Michael just did a whole thing for me, but I didn't get time to set it in. I make this song for spite. Oh yeah, go and check them out on Instagram. Go and check out the Student Hub on Instagram. We get link. How we used to do this thing now? Close this.